Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Booktube Chicks Book Club. Tonight we are discussing Sleep Like Death by Kalynn Bayron. And this is what we decided to read in October. Um, as as per usual, I'm here with Kathleen from For the Love of Books, who's going to introduce herself in just a moment. If you've never been to one of our live shows before, the way that it works is for the first 5-ish minutes, we do a non spoiler thoughts on the book. And then for about the next 30 minutes or so after that, we're going to do spoiler discussion. So, Kat, if you want to go ahead and start.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kathleen from the channel For the Love of Books. I enjoyed this book. I thought it was fun. It's been a while since I read a YA retelling, but I enjoyed it. I mostly listened to the book, but I did read the ebook as well. And I enjoyed the narrator. I thought she did a good job. It was enjoyable. It was easy to get through. Um, and I did love the romance dynamic of the book. It was an engaging story, so I really enjoyed it, and I did give it 4 stars.
My name is Chloe. You are on my channel. I really enjoyed this book. I have read like 3 other books from this author, and Cinderella is Dead is my favorite. So when I found out she was doing another retelling, I knew I wanted to read it. This one is a Snow White retelling, and I had a great time with this book. It has also been a while since I have read YA in general. I don't tend to read it as much anymore, but this one was really good, really easy to get through. I also listened to the audiobook and overall just had a really good time with it. It was a very quick read for me. Um, but yeah, where do we want to start? I need her to write more retellings, like fairy tale retellings.
This was my first, and I really liked it. I liked that it was a little bit of um a loose interpretation of
Mhm.
um, God, Snow White, especially at the end. And my thing is, I'm jumping to the end because I just read it this morning. I just got to finish the book this morning. The fact that the night the bad guy died, and he was like, sleep like death. He did his curse thing, and he's like, when lips meet or something like that, when lips touch, and it didn't occur to her that he was telling her something, like he was giving her a big giant clue. Like, what else would that have been for? And she just left him like Nova there in the middle of wherever it is that she buried him. And it didn't occur to her also that he wasn't like decaying, that he just looked the same every time she visited him. And I'm like, that should tell you something, girl. Like, do something. But I thought that was funny, and I really I enjoyed the book.
I liked how at the end we're getting stories of other fairy tales
Yeah.
and how the knight ended up really being Rumpelstiltskin,
Mm-hmm.
which to me is like, I don't know, it felt very like a perfect way to like weave everything together. And I think that's when I texted you saying like I need more fairy tale retellings from her.
Yeah, I was like, wait a sec, why are they telling us? Like, I thought, like, because to the ending, I was listening to it, I was like, did we jump into another book? Because why is it telling me another like fairy tale? And then I realized that they're telling us for a reason. And yeah, it ended up being Rumpelstiltskin, and that he was, uh, what was the word? Sore about losing
Hmm.
one time, and so he's making everybody's life miserable because one time he got, outplayed or
And
outsmarted.
and how he was outsmarted by one of her descendants too,
Mm-hmm.
or relatives. I don't know, something like that. It was awesome.
Yep.
Um, well, where was I going with that? I don't know. I need more fairy tale retellings.
Is this only her second? Because the Cinderella one came out a while ago, didn't it?
Yeah, Cinderella is Dead is her debut. She also wrote This Poison Heart and its sequel, This Wicked Fate.
Oh,
She
okay.
does have a Jekyll and Hyde retelling, I think. It's called a remix because I think it was part of some like series with other authors. And I haven't read that one. I'm I'm a little on the fence about it because it's a retelling, but I don't really gravitate towards Jekyll and Hyde. Um,
Right.
and then she's written that slasher, the YA slasher that's on my
Hmm.
desk at work. So we'll see. So far, I
You have to
definitely
let
have
me
to
know how that is. 'Cause that sounds interesting to me.
hopefully I can get through it this week. We'll see. I have to focus on another book club book.
Have you read, besides these two books, have you read any of other books? Have you read like This Poison Heart or whatever?
This Poison Heart is really good. I read it a couple of years ago, and it's really good, and it kind of ends on a little bit of a cliffhanger. The second book I've also read, but I don't like it as much. I feel like if I reread them both like back to back, I might like it more. But This Poison Heart was also like amazing. I think I gave it like a 4 or 4.5.
Mhm. Okay. Because I think I feel like I have This Poison Heart, but it's just sitting on my shelves of books that I haven't touched in years.
It was an Owl Crate book a couple
Yeah.
of years ago, so that you might have it through there. I got This Wicked Fate as the Fairy Loot one because Owl Crate didn't do the sequel, and then I forgot that Fairy Loot does B format, so it's been shorter than
Oh.
This Poison Heart. Um, but I didn't end up liking it as much as the first one. Um, so what do we want to talk about with this one? I like how the different elements of the Snow White story were interpreted in a way that it's like, oh yes, I recognize this as whatever from the original, and it's been interpreted in this new way.
Hmm.
So like the one that I thought was interesting was Claude Kingfisher had 7 sons, but they were or 7 children. I don't know if it was sons exactly. So those were kind of like the 7 dwarves, but then
Yeah.
there only ended up being 4 because a couple of them passed away.
Yeah. I like the little snippets of other things that she puts in there. I thought it was interesting that I actually laughed at the part where Nova ended up being the knight's son, and I was like, "Is this like is it Star Wars where the dude is like, Luke, I am your father, whatever?" I was like, this reminded me of that, and then it turns out he wished for his son, and that was interesting. And then he was like, I made a mistake that your mother did. I wasn't specific with my wish. He should have been obedient. I should have chosen an obedient son. I was like, well,
So that was also part of why I thought like maybe she thought that he was dead but like not decaying because he was like magical. So that's
yeah.
part of
Oh,
why.
yeah, that's true, I guess.
But she's magical too. But I mean she's not dead, so I guess we can't use that theory.
Who was it at the beginning? He was he warned her about going after the night, and he was like, I made a deal with the devil once and I wished for my mother back or something, and the mother came back all rotted like a
Yeah.
decaying corpse, and I was like, that's so sad. And I was like, that's why in these fairy tales you always got to be like really specific with your wishes.
Yeah. And there were like stuff like that. Like there were some dark moments.
I was thinking, I was like, was it was the first time she confronted the knight, and there was like this big battle scene, and it was super graphic, and I was like, I know YA has this thing about like the sexual content being very, very watered down, and then the fight scenes being like super rated R,
Yeah.
mature. I'm like, I forgot about how true that was in YA books, especially like fantasy and stuff like that. Like they don't gloss over the violence, but they gloss over everything else.
I think it's kind of the same way in Cinderella is Dead as well. Um, not really like violent, but more of like grotesque descriptions. That'll be interesting in the slasher if I can read the slasher
Oh
one
yeah,
to see
that's right.
how that is. Um, and there was something. What was it? That was. Oh. Hunter, like, completely just, like, betraying her
Uh-huh.
and the queen, which, I mean, I guess, like, the betrayal doesn't go along with the story, but, like, the fact that in the original, the hunter is the one who, um, brought, an animal's heart or whatever, but no, she was ready, like, to kill her.
Yeah. Yeah. That was interesting too. And at the end, I, the thing is, like, her mother, like, I felt irritated by her mother sometimes, and I was like, you made this wish, you knew it was gonna come, and I knew that at some point you weren't thinking about it, you were thinking, oh, like, this is future me problem, but
Yeah,
I was like, and then at the end she tried to sacrifice herself, and I was like, you're just
and
doing what he wants, like, it's not
yeah.
like that.
I like that, that her mother ended up being the old woman that brought the poisoned apple,
Yeah.
and how she was just unrecognizable because she aged.
Yeah, they were saying that she aged so much, and when they went after they went back. I mean, like,
Yeah.
I get it, I guess.
Okay, so hold on. Were you saying that after the knight died, she went back to how she looked before?
No, isn't it at the end after they went back to their kingdom after the knight died? Didn't wasn't there a description about how her mother looked so aged when the
Oh,
people saw her mother again?
yeah, I think so.
Like she made a comment about how her mother looked really old to their people.
Because they said, yeah, they said that she had died, and then uh, then she's not dead at the end.
Yeah. Um, Also, do you really think? I mean, I know she like cut off his head or something like that, but do you really think he's dead?
Only if they burned the pieces. I feel like it was said that they burned them.
Because
Maybe
he's like a magical creature. If it was that easy to kill him, somebody would have done it a long time ago.
I'm wondering if maybe he will show up in another form. Like,
Yeah.
so like if this book and Cinderella is Dead are set in the same universe, maybe in the future there could be another book set in the same universe, and he could show up in a different form in that book.
What did you think the whole like mirror part in the beginning where her mom is like acting all weird, like
Oh
holed
yeah.
up in her room talking to a mirror, and then that's when Nova shows up?
I didn't know how it was going to like be interpreted.
Yeah.
Cuz I like my my thought is that Nova was there to make sure that she didn't forget what had to be done.
Right. Her bargain.
And Nova had no choice because the knight is his father.
I For me, I thought the mirror was going to be more involved, like
Yeah,
especially in the end, because it's such an integral part of the story, the mirror, and of the original, Snow White fairy tale. But I feel like they didn't really. It was mentioned, it was talked about in the beginning, but I feel like towards the end, it wasn't as used
yeah.
or
I feel
mentioned.
like it was mostly as a plot device for well, one, to introduce Nova, but I think it was mostly a plot device for to find out that for the knight to find out that Eve was still alive.
Yeah. Okay.
I kind of wish, although I guess it doesn't even matter, that when the knight died, the like some of the spells like reversed. Although I guess Eve would die then if it was reversed. I was
That's
hoping
why
it,
I don't think like he's really really dead. I agree with you. Think I think maybe that body that he was in was dead. It's possible that
yeah,
his spirit or whatever transferred to something else.
because I
Um,
was hoping the other mom would turn back from being a bird.
that's true. Yeah. So that's why I'm thinking, like, I don't think he's really, really dead. I think maybe his spirit is trying to find another host or something.
Yeah. I wonder, when did this come out? I don't know what she's working on now as far as writing, because I know she also has like a middle grade series too, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to know if she's gonna write more retellings. Look at Instagram.
I wonder if she'll ever like venture into adult, because I feel like a lot of YA authors do that. They start off with YA, they release a couple of books, maybe even middle grade books, but they eventually find their way into like adult books.
Oh, her new book, it just came out last month. Make Me a Monster is a Frankenstein retelling. And I've heard a lot of really good things about it. I think I have the audiobook from Libro.
You said it's Frankenstein?
Yeah. Make Me a Monster. The cover is really pretty. That's the cover.
Okay.
Let's see. She tags it as #Gothic, #horror, #Frankenstein. So, I don't know. It's really pretty though. So, I've heard good things about it. I have it on Libro, so hopefully I can read it soon. But is this a YA? What does Goodreads say it is?
Yes, it does say. It says it's a horror, fantasy, young adult, retelling, paranormal, romance.
Well, I'm excited about it. Yeah, that looks to be the latest. It doesn't look like there's any news on anything else. That would be a really good Halloween read. I see. I want to read all these things in the next 5 days before Halloween, but I don't have the time.
What are you reading right now?
I'm reading For the Hope of It All.
Halloween related.
What?
Anything Halloween related?
No. Okay. Well, okay. So going off topic for a second, I'm reading For the Hope of It All for Quarterly Romance next weekend, but I'm only on chapter 5, which I'm liking it. It's not a problem. The problem is there's no audiobook because it's indie published. So I have to read it with my eyeballs. And I started it last Monday, and I've only read 5 chapters.
We've gotten like spoiled with audiobooks because they allow us just to read it anywhere, you know.
So also staying off topic is I started Julia Song is Undateable for the event tomorrow. It doesn't come out until Tuesday, but I got the audio from the Libro FM ALC thing. So I started that, and now I'm like, I could finish it before the event tomorrow, right? Just trying to see if I can, but I don't think I will. I still have like 4 hours left.
That's not bad. You can do it.
But I have to work in the morning, so.
We'll see. You're actually working in the morning.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm leaving work at 1:15 for us to go to the event.
Oh, yeah. I thought about doing a half day, and I was like, no.
So is there anything else we want to talk about this? We've made it 19 minutes.
I mean, we talked about everything I wanted to talk about.
So
I usually don't, like, when I read, I don't really focus on the small details like Desiree does. I focus on the broader events. And then all the smaller details I tend to forget until we talk about it in the live. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's right. That happened.
My current problem is I filled up my review notebook where for specifically for book clubs, I would write a couple of notes of things that I wanted to talk about with the book. I filled it up. I know I have a replacement one somewhere, but I can't find it. So I haven't been writing notes for like the past 2 or 3 live shows. So I just have to wing it now.
Yeah, that's fine.
Cool. Well, we can kind of start transitioning to talking about the end of the year and what's going on with the Booktube chicks for the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the big changes that we're going to do, I mean, big change that we're going to do for the end of the year is typically we used to do a book every single month. And in November and December before the holidays, we would just do it a little earlier, like halfway through the month, have this live discussion. But this year we're trying something different where November and December are going to be combined into one book club that we're going to do a little bit early in December. And that'll kind of encapsulate the end of the year. And we're trying this out this year just so we can enjoy the holidays and spend time with our families without having to worry about, oh, I got to finish this book for book club. Something like that. So, we're going to be doing that. We're still going to be doing Pages and Pals, I think both of the months. We haven't actually really talked about that much.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're starting to plan for 2026 for another great year of reading. The great thing that I've liked about this year and last year with us like rotating the picks is there's been a lot of different things that we've been able to read. And I don't know, it's keeping it fresh and interesting. And we're doing a mix of new releases and backlist books. And overall, it's just a good time. So let's go ahead and do final thoughts on this. And then we can talk about November and December.
Okay. So it's been a while since I've read a YA retelling, and I really enjoyed it. It was my first book by this author. It looks like she has an array of books that she writes, usually in the retelling or horror genre, YA and middle grade. So I'm gonna pick up Cinderella's Dead next because it sounds really good. But overall, I really enjoyed the story. It was easy to read. It was easy to get through. It was a Snow White retelling. So it's easy to follow the story, follow the characters, and it was easy to connect with the characters. I really enjoyed it. So I did give it 4 stars. And yeah, it was a good read.
That was the other thing I was going to ask you is if you were going to read Cinderella is Dead.
Mm-hmm.
Something else that you might like for like the moody romantic vibes, kind of like this, and Cinderella is Dead also has it, is Belladonna by Adeline Grace.
I have that book too.
That's good. I've read the whole trilogy, and then a spin-off like novella just came out.
Is it a retelling?
No,
or is it just fantasy-ish?
It's fantasy-ish.
Okay.
It's like one of the main male character is Death in the first two. Yeah, it's really good. I like that series. It's very moody. It's very good for this time of the year. Overall, I really enjoyed this book. I've read probably about half of Kalynn Bayron's books, and the retellings definitely hold a special place in my heart. I was actually thinking about while reading this how my reading journey and my booktube journey really originated in retellings. And this just took me back, and I was having a good time with it. So overall, I gave it 4 stars. I really, really hope that she writes more fairy tale retellings, because especially with how this book ended, it just makes me think there could be so much more built in this world besides this one and Cinderella is Dead. But overall, I had a great time with this book, and I look forward to reading more from this author. Next month for November/December, we are going to be reading The Nightmare Before Christmas by Sarah Rausch. I think that's how you say the last name. And this is a Prince of Christmas and a Prince of Halloween romance. So really, it's perfect for this time of year. It's perfect for December. It's basically perfect for October through the end of the year. And I've heard a lot of really good things about this book. There is a spin-off sequel that's called Go Luck Yourself, but I can't remember. It's St. Patrick's Day and something else. So I can't remember what the other one is. But I am very excited to read and discuss this. Our live show for this book is going to be on Friday, December 5th at 7:30. Friday, December 5th at 7:30. Just so we can accommodate some other plans that we have. So I'm very excited to discuss this and kind of wrap up Booktube Chicks Book Club for 2025 with this one. If you're a fan of romance, the quarterly romance book club is reading For the Hope of It All by Isla Sikorsky. Our live show is a week from today on November 2nd at 6 p.m. Eastern, and that's going to be over on Desiree's channel at Libri Labra. This is a small town romance. It definitely has those Taylor Swift vibes. For what I've read so far, which is approximately 40 pages, I'm enjoying it. She's definitely, this is the first in a trilogy, I believe, but I think they're all like following different people. But if you want to read and discuss this with us, it'll be on Sunday, November 2nd at 6 p.m. on Desiree's channel. And then Pages and Pals, we picked a date and I don't remember what it was.
November 15th. That's Saturday.
Okay. Yes. Pages and Pals for an hour of reading / productivity time with friends will be on Saturday, November 15th. And that's a Saturday. So it'll be at 9 p.m. On Kat's channel, which is linked in the description below. So that's kind of everything that's going on, almost everything for the rest of the year. So thank you guys so much for watching and for joining us. We will hope to see you next month to discuss my stack of books, to discuss The Nightmare Before Christmas. And we will see you all then. Bye.